Hello everyone, today I'm going to be reviewing the new Lakme 9to5 Prime Plus Matte Liquid Concealer. So without any further ado, let's get started. You know the drill, let's talk about the packaging, pricing and the amount of product you happen to get here. So whenever you buy a concealer from Lakme, you get it in a cardboard packaging like this, which has all the details, the pricing, quantity, expiry and whatnot. So this concealer is going to cost you 400 rupees and you get 5.4 ml of product and you have 8 shades to choose from. Now moving on to the actual concealer, this is how the concealer would come. It is a plastic packaging, a heavy duty plastic packaging, and then the rose gold cap. You have best before, but I'll tell you, जितनी बार आप इसे पकड़ोगे, जितनी बार उसे आप लिफ्ट करोगे, your best before manufacturing will wipe off. मेरा तो आधा wipe off already हो चुका है. And then your shade name will be written behind. You open it, you have a nice flat applicator which has a little triangle shape, but it is not pokey, so it is not going to hurt your eyes. It is definitely a stiff applicator. It does not have any kind of softness to it, and it does not pick up like a lot of product while removing it from the pod. So you can use how much ever product you want with the applicator. You will not be wasting a lot of product here. So all in all, a good, sturdy, a very simple packaging here. But the one thing which I really like, the shade, I can actually see through. So that's something really good because Lakme में ये चीज़ें थोड़ी miss out हो जाती हैं. So packaging definitely 10 on 10. Now pricing की बात करें यहाँ पे तो you are paying 400 rupees and you get 5.4 ml of product. That is a lot of product for a very affordable pricing. Because अभी मैंने recently K Beauty का भी concealer review किया है अपने channel पे, wherein the concealer costed me 799 rupees and I just get 3.4 ml of product. So compared to another drugstore concealer, Lakme has really maintained the pricing as well as they are giving a lot more product here. You get 8 shades to choose from. Now I'm not a very happy person on the shade. I would say they could have added more medium to tan shade into the concealer family because I do feel 3 से 4 shades और ऐड किए जा सकते थे because I do feel fair to light to medium के लिए shades हैं, but I do feel कि tan और deeper skin के लिए shades enough नहीं हैं. So yes, a little more shade family should have been there. Otherwise, the packaging, the pricing, the quantity definitely stands out and I would like to give like 9 out of 10 because shades are lacking. Now let's move on to the application and how the product perform onto my skin, and then I will give you my final thoughts and is it a fully approved concealer. So here we are on the application part. So I will be using the concealer specifically only for concealing the imperfections onto my skin like pigmentation, acne marks, or for that matter dark circles. Only for these purposes I happen to use a concealer. I never use a concealer for brightening or for that matter contouring. But concealers can be used in many different ways. But I personally like concealers only for basically concealing the imperfections. So I happen to pick up the shade called 24 beige. I felt this could be like my closest match, but I still feel I could have gone a shade deeper than this one. But nevertheless, this definitely matches my skin tone, like the skin tone, but pigmentation I do feel this shade gets a little lighter for my liking. Nevertheless, I have already been wearing this concealer. I know how it performs onto my skin. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get into the application. So I really like the applicator on this one. Again, it is a stiff applicator. You don't waste a lot of product. You don't apply a lot of product. As well as it is a different kind of a wand. It is like a flat wand, but it has a little shape to it, which really helps you to go into the corners of the eyes. Recently, I have realized that brands are changing up their applicator. That's a really good thought because पहले हमें सब कुछ 2 फुट में मिलता था. But now it's really different and really unique and I really like the applicator. Now let's get to placing the concealer first, and I'm going to leave the concealer for at least 30 to 40 seconds and then I will get into the blending part. Now after placing the concealer, I would like to let it rest for 30 to 40 seconds and then start blending. So there you see my one side of the face and you see the other side of my face. You can see a little bit of concealing, at least on this side of my face. It is not your full coverage concealer. It cannot conceal the deepest pigments, or I would say the dark circles. You really have to go in with another thick or a full coverage concealer here. It is definitely like a very sheer coverage concealer. So there you see my complete face done with the concealer, and you can tell that I have definitely done a little bit of correction onto my skin. But in person, if I see myself in the mirror, not on the camera, then I can just see my acne marks or my pigments. But I definitely know that there is like a little bit of correction onto the skin, like a little blur is on the skin, which is somewhat covering up the imperfections. So if you're someone who wants to have a concealer which is not going to give you too much of a coverage, or doesn't make you feel heavy on the skin, doesn't make you feel that you have applied a thick concealer, and you are a no concealer person but you still want to enjoy a concealer, then this is the concealer to look into, because this is like your no makeup concealer, which is definitely give you a minute correction but not make you feel heavy on the skin. Now why not, let's complete the full face and be right back. So there you saw the application, and during the process of the application you could see how the product performed onto my skin. Now let me quickly talk about the product and give you my thoughts. Now brand claims that it is going to give you more of a mattifying, smooth, as well as it is going to conceal your imperfections. Now frankly speaking, concealing imperfection differs person to person. If you are someone who has a lot of dark circles, a lot of pigmentation, a lot of stern acne marks, then this concealer may not do a good job for you. If you are someone who does not have too many things going on to your skin, then you can pitch in for this concealer, because this is just going to sheerly cover up things onto your skin. It is going to give you a nice mattifying touch, but it is not a drying concealer. It definitely gives you a more of a smoother touch to the skin. I really like the finish of the product. It seamlessly blends into the skin. Yes, you saw it was like a quick application. It does not take any much, like a lot of time. And other one thing which I feel with this concealer is, instead of a blender, you can go in with a brush also, because I have used this concealer with a brush also, and it applies beautifully. But one thing to keep in mind, that you immediately set this concealer with a powder, or else you will have immediate creasing. As brand says, it blends seamlessly and avoid creasing. It does crease if you do not set the concealer within like 2 to 3 minutes of application, or else you will like straight up have creasing. It will start settling into your fine lines, and you will see that your eyes are not looking pleasant underneath. That is something which I have faced with this concealer, and now I know my tricks how to set it well so that I do not suffer with creasing. It has an inbuilt primer, as the brand claims. I do feel, because that is how it is giving you more of a smoother finish, and that is how you do not feel dry with the concealer. All in all, it is not your full coverage concealer. It is a sheer coverage concealer. It is your everyday concealer. It is not a concealer which is made for people who enjoys concealer as their full coverage concealer, who wants to conceal almost everything onto their face with the help of a concealer. This is not for you. If you are a combination to oily skin, please set your concealer immediately, or else you will end up creasing, like your concealer will end up creasing. If you're a dry skin, you can still see no crease for next 3 to 4 hours, but with my kind of skin type, I have to go in with multiple touch-ups with my compact powder so that it does not look vague or uneasy. All in all, am I happy with this concealer? I would say I will not be happy with this concealer if I have to wear it on a day wherein I have to attend a function, I have to wear a good foundation, I really don't want to do touch-ups, then this is not the concealer I would wear it. I can wear this concealer only on those days wherein I want to wear no makeup looks, or I just want to put a little bit of concealer here and there and set my face. Those are the days only I can wear it. Otherwise, not a concealer to be worn for a look like this. So yes, it is not an up to mark concealer for me, but for 400 rupees, I do feel this is a worth a shot concealer. It is not a bad concealer. I've given you pros, I've given you cons of this concealer. So if you're someone who likes sheer concealers, then buy it. If you're someone who doesn't like sheer, you want full coverage concealer, then do not buy it. So now you can understand how to get your concealers, and that's how I also like my concealers to be. Personally, it is like 80-20 situation. 80% I like this concealer, 20% I do not for certain reasons. So there you know all about the Lakme 9to5 Prime Plus Matte Concealer. A lot of you have requested for this review. You know my thoughts how this concealer performs. But if you are someone who is looking for an affordable sheer concealer, then yes, Lakme has got a concealer. I hope you loved watching this interesting in-depth review. I will be here soon with some more interesting new makeup launches. Consider subscribing if you really loved watching my content, and follow me on my Instagram. I will see you in my next one. Till then, you take care and ta-da!